My name is Kirsten Hoke, and I did my research paper on the ease of social media and how it is making us all just a little bit lazier than we were just maybe a decade ago. Today, we have an ever increasingly ease of access to television and magazines, radio, and much more. Our smartphones and our tablets and wireless internet make almost every location a location where you can access one of these forms of media. So information's right at our fingertips the minute that we want it. All this convenience comes at a price, though. We find ourselves spiraling down an unstoppable funnel of instantaneous gratification, which is spoiling us and making us lazier. We have a reduced amount of patience for anything that takes more than a moment to appear in front of us. This is for children and adults. The media is feeding our high octane information 24 hours a day, and it's with the intention of getting us hooked on their methods. And it's making us lazier. The first evidence is in the sleep. There have been studies that found media has induced laziness in people. We're almost all tired all of the time. Can also attest to that personally. Of those who were polled, who admitted to sleeping 7 to 8 hours a week, 45% of them reported still waking up feeling tired or fatigued. And there's another 54% who claim to have only gotten 6 hours of sleep, and they are obviously waking up feeling tired and fatigued. But what causes this? What makes us so much more tired, and how does that relate to media? Well, something that we have learned to call binge watching. Binge watching is when we are watching a television show over and over and over and over, one episode after the other, until it's completed. And this is brought to us by our different forms of media and the ease of access to TV. The Sleep Health Foundation advises that watching television and playing video games too close to bedtime can cause people to have a poor night's sleep. You have to be able to wind down properly before you go to sleep in order for the sleep cycles to be productive. So, binge watching television interrupts your sleep process whether you know it or not. Even if you only stay up till 9 o'clock, you're going to have the same experience as someone who stayed up till 1 or 2 in the morning, waking up at 8 a.m. if you watched TV before bed. So media companies like Netflix and Hulu, they're giving us a greater freedom in television viewing, but they're also contributing to our overall laziness and lack of sleep. Huffington Post survey found that 82% of people who were polled stayed up too late watching television. Seems like it might be sort of an epidemic at this point. Some of the side effects of sleep deprivation or lack of sleep are depression, memory loss, weight gain, and an overall lethargic feeling, which is going to attribute to our overall laziness. If we're too tired to get up, we're not going to do anything extra. Another piece of evidence that can attest to how media is making us lazier is instant gratification. Why do we stay up so late watching show episode after episode? It's because of the idea that we have the option to do so, and we're going to do it. I don't have to wait till next week to see the next episode of Dexter. I can watch it right now. The success of companies like Netflix is partly due to the fact that we have a society that expects information and expects what they request at the touch of a button and within minutes, moments. We're living with an entire generation of people who don't know anything about or anything other than instant gratification. Generation Y, which I believe is children born in the 1980s and 90s, I'm kind of on the cusp of that myself. These children have grown up in an era where you receive the information that you want and you receive it the moment that you ask for it. Children prior to Generation Y had to go look for their information in books in a library. They used the Dewey Decimal System. They had to put effort into finding the information that they needed, and it's quite the opposite case now. Prior to instant gratification and our smartphones, which supplied us with every piece of knowledge and every bit of entertainment you could possibly imagine, children spent time with their friends outside. They were riding bikes, they were walking down the street to see each other. So maybe not a direct result of media outlets providing us with great service, but the instant information has made our children just a bit lazier as well. Um, I see it firsthand as a generation of children who sit in front of a screen and talk to their friends that way as opposed to getting up and going to see them. This instant gratification of getting what they want when they want has made them lazier. A Google search, if you haven't checked recently, can provide you with what you want to know in less than 0.69 seconds. That's fast. I can't even think that fast, depending on the topic. But the speed of search results like that is training Generation Yers to expect instant results for everything else that they do as well. Instantaneous results don't allow time to research topic of interest, to ride down the street, to talk with a friend, and it doesn't give you the gratification that if you're watching your show right now on television, you get instant gratification. You lose the suspense of having to wait until next week to see what's going on. And the third argument that media has made us lazier is against smartphones. Once upon a time, we all memorized every number that we wanted to know, who we wanted to contact. These days, our minds have been trained to not memorize these numbers. Phone numbers are stored in our phone. Our brains just don't have to think as hard anymore when you want to get in contact with somebody. So we don't need to wait for the evening news. We don't need to wait for the newspaper to get here in the morning or for the Sunday news to arrive on Sunday. It's there for us now. Patience is gone. So, as a side note, I think it's important to write that in an article written by Today, it was referred to, all of us, we're all referred to as mental couch potatoes. And it brings up the topic that those who are more intelligent think about information in a question before they go looking for the information on the internet. And those who are less intelligent just run right to the internet. And that's something I found to be very truthful in my day-to-day experiences. So each day we expect a certain level of instantaneousness from the media. Adults do, children do, we all do. So if there's something occurring in the world somewhere, we expect to know firsthand. And while it's not a bad thing, I think we should all be a bit more careful about how we treat and interact with the media and different outlets for receiving the media so that we don't fall into the trap of laziness. Thank you.